You are watching the Pittsburgh Penguin Fan Show on Fan Media Network. I'm Joe Bartnick, a Pittsburgh Penguin fan. Joining me now, Pittsburgh Penguin fan, my good friend, Puck-Off co-host, the one and only Andy Picaro. Andy, usually your deadpan is funny. This time it is a true deadpan because it was a very, 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 very extremely tough loss, as only the Islanders can give us. Double overtime. I've said for years everywhere, when you lose after the first overtime, it feels like you lose two games, which means we would have been eliminated. And that's kind of what it feels like. I'm always Mr. Positive, even on the radio this morning where people are like, you're always positive. That was a kick in the nuts last night. There's no other way to put it. Your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts were that, yeah, it was a kick in the nuts. I still think they played great. And like everybody wants to throw things and be upset and cut people and start new people and change the team. They played really well. A goalie stole a game last night, and it wasn't the Penguins goalie.
Well, our goalie left the door open for them to steal it. Is it really theft if your garage door is open with a sign that says, here, take my car?
But if you play well enough for the better part of two games to win the game, and your team just can't score that extra goal when you have all that extra firepower, I'm not sure who to blame completely.
I think Jarry's been terrible. You know what? Okay, here's the three goals last night. First goal, Jake the Snake. The only Jake shake of this whole series has been what he did, because Anthony Beauvillier, Tony Bo, just turned him inside. He looked like Travolta. I mean, that was terrible. And then Dumo, we love Dumo. He got knocked off the puck, and he turned the puck over. Now, and then Jarry's was hideous. But that's the game. Other than that, we completely outplayed them. I actually thought we out-physicaled them in that game. Even NBC, who can't wait to fellatiate the whole Islander organization, even they admitted we beat the hell out of them last night in every facet but scoring. But that's the scoreboard. Zone time and possession time and how many passes you can make and who looks good and hits, that doesn't matter. You got to put the puck in the net. And Sorokin was amazing. He was amazing.
He was great, and he's why I think the Penguins may and very well could lose or might soon lose this series, is because of him. I'm not sure I want to blame any Penguin yet. Jarry has not been good. Game one really, to me, is his biggest sin still. That giveaway was bad. But still, he played well enough for the better part of two games to win. And you can't ask for much more to your goaltender.
This is like, I don't know, this is horrible analysis, but it's what I've said about other goaltenders who, many of whom were better than Jarry. I said the puck, it seems like when the pucks hit him, it's lucky. The shots from far out he's missed have been bad. His battling in front of the net with imaginary ghosts has been terrible. He plays around with the puck when he's stick handling. He looks like a very immature goalie. He looks like a kid out there. I'm really down on him. And the other big negative, I think, is Jake the Snake. He's been terrible. I know he's been a pinata, but he's been terrible. Now he looks like he's afraid to get hit. And hey, I can't blame him. They beat the piss out of him. But he's been bad, because even Rusty, that's the thing is, Gino woke up, or he's been waking up. He got the big power play goal. For all the, hey, we put Gino in second power. Yeah, who's going to score then? It took a Hall of Famer to blow up by Sorokin. And then Rusty is clutch Rusty. And you think that, things are going good. Not meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, my negatives, I don't know, do you have positives or not?
That was the positive. That was the positive. The other positive, I really think that our buddy Pettersson has gotten better as this series gone on, and Matheson's playing good. I haven't even thought of Marino. He's playing good because he's been playing. The D is playing solid, and our best D just got knocked off the puck. And hey, Dumo's allowed to have one bad shift, for God's sake. He's played amazing. So, the negative is Jake, and are you going to play Angelo? I mean, Erod. Zucker is a zero. He's a zero. He wasn't making.
He was okay.
He's okay. He's playing. Casper's played great. Gino's playing on one leg, and this guy.
I think he's been getting to pucks. I honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of his, but I think he's been all right. Yeah, like I honestly don't think he's been an all-star, but I've noticed him like in a positive way a lot recently.
He's playing with Gino and he's getting
A little bit.
1/5 of the puck.
But
Gino has to can the puck to somebody as he's crossing the zone. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's. I'm sorry. I was just saying my negative is really what you just they even hits were 46-46. You played their game and you lost. Like how many more shots did the Penguins have had? Because the Penguins have shot them 20-4 in the second. If you just kept getting the puck and getting the puck to the front of the net and shooting, and just kept shooting and shooting, it's the only way to beat a hot goalie. At a certain point, I think the Penguins have decided, and my boy Tanev is leading that charge, to play the body as hard as you can every time in the corner. And it's not a way that's going to lead for the Penguins to win. And again, I'm not saying that's what I want. I don't want them to be a soft team, but they kind of are a soft team. And if they want to grit it out, they're going to lose. And so if they want to grit it out versus the Islanders, they're going to lose. If they want to grit it out versus Boston, they're going to lose. If the Capitals had won, they would have beat them too. You're just not going to beat them that way at their game. They're playing the Islanders game, and that's a negative to me.
Well, Alan May, who great analyst, and Nick Kypreos both said and agreed with that the Penguins are not soft. They're hard on pucks. They just don't make the whopping hits. They're hard on the puck. They win puck battles. And our boy Czar has played great. Czar might be the best player in this series for us. So, Jake, the top line, what's Sid? He's had 3 multiple point games in the last since the Stanley Cup. Sid. Yeah. I don't know how much Sid can play better, but he's got to score.
Well, no, I think they've been great, and I think that's a different definition of soft. To me, they're soft in the sense that you're not going to take a lot of big bumps when you're playing the Penguins from their forwards, as far as your defensemen retrieving pucks. Once the Penguins start doing that, I think they kind of lose control of who they are as far as controlling the puck below the goal line as opposed to giving out punishment below the goal line. And I think that's where Jake has gotten lost. Why is all of a sudden Jake physical? What's that? What's that helping?
Is getting hit being physical? I don't know if he's actually.
Well, he's getting hit and he's taking chippy penalties. Took an awful penalty 2 games ago, and he's kind of buying into the BS. And then he's maybe one of the only forwards that's doing it. And again, I think Marino hasn't been great either. I think the defense has been great overall. I have nothing negative to say about any of them. Besides, I think Marino's been kind of average. The forwards, I think they've all been great besides Jake. And even Zucker, I think, has been good. And I know we disagree on that.
Good
but
he hasn't been horrible. Maybe Freddie Hockey's playing well. Carter's cool.
You can't take that trip though. That was a bad. They're only going to call trips. And that point in the game, they're only going to call trips. And I felt like that penalty late in that game. Yeah, they didn't score. That was that hurt them. And I hated that play. And I think he's been slower than he was in the regular season. To me.
I think that because they killed that off, I thought that was a big key to almost, okay, well, now when they trip Gino, we can get a call. I was kind of thinking like, you know what? They called that one now. Because let's face it, I'm not blaming the officiating, but with everything they've done to us and some of the calls that Gino got were BS. I'm sorry. When they showed his 3 penalties, compared to like everything that's happened this whole series, it looked ridiculous. They weren't Tom Wilson penalties.
No, but it's a lot of things about where you do it, when you do it, right in front of the referee in the neutral zone.
No, I'm not saying Gaudreau's wasn't like, whoa. I'm just saying I think if Freddie's the scapegoat and they put in Erod for him to pretend that he's making coaching changes, I think it'd be a mistake. I think if he had any nuts, he would mix up the lines and bring in Angelo and sit and really sit. I know he's not going to do it, but he should. If he really wanted to get the 12 best players, Zucker's not one of the 12 best players.
You think Angelo's better than Zucker?
I think he would be if then you put Tanev with Malkin, or put Carter, put Carter with Sid, put Carter with Sid, put Jake with Gino maybe. Or put Carter with Gino and put Rust. I would mix it up a lot. I would mix it up a lot. I really would.
I would stick it. I would stick with it because the only thing that's beating you is the goaltending. That's the only thing. You can even say that maybe we're beating ourselves in goal to a degree, but the only thing that's keeping the Islanders in this is Sorokin is winning. Look, if Sorokin played all the games, this might be over.
Right.
So I mean, he is the one that's winning this series, and that's kind of my overall thing. Is I don't think Jari has lost that game. I think Sorokin won it. And I don't think the Penguins are blowing it. I think the Islanders are just taking advantage of Sorokin. You know,
I don't think they're blowing it at all. I think they've outplayed them in, I'd say, 70% of the series. They've outplayed them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: they played about as good as they're going to play, other than scoring, which is a big one. I understand that, and they lost. I don't think the Islanders played nearly their game. On the physicality level alone, they did not play as good a game as they could have.
They haven't played a good game all series.
Now they're going back to Long Island with a chance to. They're going to need a bigger effort. They're going to need a jolt, and I would think that just makes. I think Sid needs Czar or Tanev or Carter. I think Sid needs someone with shoulders on his line now. I think Jake's a pinata. I'm not saying Jake needs to sit. I think Jake can play. Obviously, I think he needs to. I think Sid needs somebody that is not going to be afraid in that corner anymore.
Well, and also to have his mind occupied. And I just want to say in one, I don't know how much time we have left, but one final thought for me. This is exactly how I felt in 2016 when they lost to Tampa and they had to go back to Tampa and win 2. And how I felt when they had to go back to Washington in 2009. Now, I'm not saying I didn't feel the same way when they've also lost and all the other years that they've lost, right? But this is a good team. This is a team that's better than the team that they're currently down 3-2 to. And from what I've seen in the series, I have every reason to believe that they could win 2 games straight. I don't really think that it's over. I think that they could easily win 2 straight. But, it's going to be an effort. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but I still kind of feel good about Penguins in 7.
That was your pick, I believe. I had him in 6, so I'm out the window. For the LinkedIn fan special, follow me on LinkedIn or Puck Off on LinkedIn, and you will see this show in your LinkedIn feed, and we'll get back with your comments and your questions on a later show. I will say this: I get a good look at everybody because if they lose, not everyone's coming back. It's going to be Archie Bunk. It's going to be Sidney Crosby's place. Not all in the family.
Yeah.
Meathead and Edith aren't going to be there next year. So, very final thoughts we're up against, I believe.
If these are Gino's last games, he really is going out as hard as he can because I thought that he was great last game and he was amazing and he is beasting it and he's definitely hurt. So if this is his last few games as a Penguin, it's awesome to see him going out, absolutely rip roaring as hard as he can.
And if you're watching this and you're one of those people that I read on Twitter that somehow blamed him for the final goal, then I'll see you in person because I'm not going to. I have to put this as a family show. All right, that's it. Hey, let's go Pens. That's Andy Picaro. I'm Joe Bartnick. That's our show.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.